1, liftoff. Okay, welcome everybody to the Black Column Podcast. I'm your host, Jabia, aka the Crew Philosopher.
And I'm Shannon. I'm workshopping still.
Yeah, she's still working on her AKA. We will have that for you shortly, hopefully by the end of the year. And we are here once again to give you guys another news show. It's been 14 days. 14 days because Thanksgiving was the last Thursday, so we skipped that one. So it's been 14 days, though not much that we care to talk about, really. I'm going to keep it straight with y'all. We forgot today was a show, right? We forgot today was a show.
No, I didn't forget you. There was a show.
That is accurate. So I forgot that there was a show today. Shannon told me that she assumed that I would remember that there was a show today. But I don't feel like this is really my fault because Shannon always texts me every time we have a show just because. So when I didn't even receive a text today, I forgot today was Thursday. I did. I forgot today was Thursday. But then I remember, I was like, wait a minute.
I don't think that you should blame me for. I should not be blamed for that. That is still your fault.
That is very true. I should have assumed that, be on top of everything. And I should have texted you as soon as I remembered. I think 2 o'clock, I realized, damn, today's Thursday. I wonder if we're still doing the show. And then I think like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I text Shannon, it's like, so, recording? So here we are. But I'm excited because a little bit of a change of pace today. There's still pandemic talk and corona talk, but it doesn't feel like there's been any change in the news portion. Cases are skyrocketing. It is running rampant through the country. The vaccines are being administered this month. The first shots of the vaccine are being distributed this month. So it seems like we are where we were 14 days ago with all of the recent information.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really see. Yeah, there's not too much to discuss there, though. We could discuss, and I think it is worth us discussing, 2 parts about COVID. Now, the first one is kind of just a PSA announcement that I do think is worth talking about because, whenever things get crazy, scams come out, Shannon.
Yep.
And I saw this news article from Fox News, and I thought this is not really going to be much of a discussion topic for us, but I do think people deserve to know this because it is very important information. And this is a scam alert. HHS warns of fake social media accounts promising COVID-19 grant money. Right? It goes, the Office of the Inspector General for the United States Department of Health and Human Services is warning the public of yet another COVID-19 related scam. According to a fraud alert newsletter shared on November 23rd, scammers are creating fake social media accounts or hacking existing ones and sending direct messages to people by posing as friends or a government employee. The imposter claims that the victim is eligible for government grants due to COVID-19, disability, or other health-related reasons, and sends them a phone number to call with the promise of money. Once the victim calls the number provided, they are asked to pay a, quote, processing fee with either bank account information, gift cards, or Bitcoin in order to receive the fake grant. And in turn, their money, sometimes in large amounts, is stolen. And then that's pretty much it about what's happening. It says, in addition to the COVID-19 grant scam, another scheme involves medical labs that target retirement communities with fake COVID-19 tests. The victims will actually go to the clinics, have their blood drawn, and those labs then bill federal healthcare programs for unnecessary medical services. The newsletter continued. There have been instances where scammers offer a $200 Medicare prescription card, which, according to HHS, does not exist. And so those are the things that we are being warned to watch out for.
Y'all gotta watch. Y'all gotta be careful for these scams, man, because scamming is at an all-time high. I feel since we've been in this pandemic. I get 1,000 text messages a day, literally, with weird links, and I get 100,000 phone calls a day, also from all these scam companies. You just can't be falling for it. You can't. Just everything. Consider everything to be sketchy. Like,
yeah. So for me, something. So I didn't know that this happened to me before I read that. Right?
did it?
I mean, I didn't send anybody no money, but somebody tried to get into contact with me. So basically, there's this girl that I grew up with in church, and she had
She tried
DM'd
to
me on
scam you?
Instagram. No, but it wasn't her. It was somebody
Oh,
using
got
her
it.
to try to get to me. So I'm gonna just read you the text exchange. It only went like 2 minutes because as soon as she asked me a certain question, I knew, yeah, this is. So she texted me, "Good morning," and I said, "Hey, you. Good morning." And she goes, "How are you doing?" I go, "I'm doing okay. You?" And she goes, "Pretty good." Here's where I knew there's some bullshit. She goes, "Pretty good and much excited."
Yeah, that's weird.
Yes, it is weird. It's like somebody that doesn't speak English.
Yep.
Then she continues, "Have you heard about the recently good news that going on now around the country yet?" And I go, "What news?" Question mark. And she goes, "Have you heard about the federal government grant monetary commission funds?" And then I just didn't reply back. And that was on Monday.
Wow. So these like bots are really like hacking into your profile and like having conversations with you.
So sometimes they're
That's so
hacking.
scary.
True. So sometimes they're hacking somebody's profile. Other times they just create another profile. So like Shannon Talley, they'll create a whole other Instagram with your picture on it. Maybe, change the username slightly where I wouldn't notice and then email me. But things that give it away, number one, the way that they type. You kind of should know how your friends or even how the ordinary person texts and types.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see that weird grammar issues that sounds like unintelligent or like English is somebody's second language, that's flag number one. Flag number two, stats, right? So for example, she has 49 followers and 0 posts.
Yeah.
Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you have 0 posts that you're not a real person, but is somebody that has 0 posts worth talking to, regardless of if they're real or not? It's not. So these are just little signs you can look for to avoid the scams. Because I'm with Shannon on this one that people are getting scammed left and right these days. People are desperate. When people are desperate, hungry, homeless, we have an eviction crisis coming soon. As soon as the new year rolls in, but that's when the moratorium ends. And so you're going to have people getting evicted left and right. When people are desperate, Shannon, they will fall for these scams. See, we look at these scams and think about how could you possibly fall for this? Number one, if you're somebody who is older, like a senior, you're technologically illiterate. And so, yes, you can fall for these things. And if you're desperate, when people get desperate, they don't act rationally. They don't. You'll be surprised about you'll be surprised regarding what you will do when fear is your driving motivator. And so just wanted to start the show with that, just to warn people this is what you need to look out for. Right. So it wasn't like a topic of discussion, but kind of like a PSA, public service announcement.
And once you click on one sketchy link, then you just have to be careful because your whole information could be out there. As soon as you click on a link, it's just like malware. So like if you click on one link and you start seeing a whole bunch of other sketchy things happening, they're probably all scams. So just be wary of that too, everyone.
Yes, Shannon. Yeah, you shouldn't be clicking weird links. Did you guys watch Mr. Robot? Right? Like or what the various other tech shows out there that show the way to get malware on your laptop is sending you links and stuff. Do you run like virus detection software on your laptop?
Mm-mm.
I scan my laptop at least once a week. Full scan, virus scan. I want to find all the malware. I don't play that.
I probably should. There used to be a rumor a long time ago that Macs didn't get viruses, but that's not true.
I'll play this. I know for a fact Macs get significantly less viruses than PCs. Mm-hmm. That's not debatable. But I would never trust anyone that says that they 100% don't get viruses and malware. That sounds ridiculous. So yeah, even if that's the case, it can't hurt having extra protection. It costs me $2 a month to pay for my virus detection software, so that's good for me. Rather than waking up one day and then my computer can't work because somebody was just tearing up my laptop CPU, But all right, real story now. So Clinton, Bush, and Obama willing to take the COVID-19 vaccine live on TV.
Live on TV? Oh, that's what you're talking about? I didn't hear this story.
TV. Oh, no, this was the second Obama story.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the previous presidents, and they are willing to take the vaccine on TV because they want to build the public confidence to take the vaccine. Reason why.
That doesn't build... Watching somebody take a vaccine doesn't build my public confidence to get a vaccine. Just because they took it, that doesn't mean it's safe. They could still drop dead in 2 months. I don't know.
Okay, I agree with you, but let me finish what I was saying. So,
Okay.
no, I'm with you 100%. But I was just trying to explain the reason why they feel compelled to do this is because in order to get the effectiveness out of the vaccine, where you have quote unquote like herd immunity, you need around, I think they're saying 70 to maybe 80% of the population to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
We are nowhere near close to that number based off of the polling numbers. I think something like 50% of the country is apprehensive about taking the vaccine.
Yeah. And
so if you only get 50% of people to take it, I mean, they'll be protected, but the pandemic won't be over. And so you can't really try to ease back into, normal until you hit that herd immunity amount. And so the presidents feel compelled to do this. I heard, do you watch The View?
No.
I'm a View fan. And one of Joy on The View, she said that she would get the vaccine on live TV as well. She's not an anti-vaxxer. I am also not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm with Shannon on this one.
Neither am I. I'm not an anti-vaxxer either.
Yes. I said, oh yeah, just like you. But this little stunt that the presidents are doing, to me, you should all be able to see through this very easily. Now, some of you don't know this. Do you know, Shannon, that back during the Flint, Michigan crisis, where Obama got the glass of water?
Oh, okay. Yes, I heard about this. Mm-hmm.
But did you see the video?
No, I don't think I saw the video.
All right, Shannon, I want you to watch the video right now. Yes, you have to see. I'm keep talking, but Shannon has to see this video for her to believe me, because she's not going to believe me otherwise. So if you are at home listening to this, or wherever you are, stop what you're doing, press pause on the podcast. I want you to go on YouTube and type in Obama fakes sips Flint water. Right? Put that into YouTube. And a video will pop up where Obama appears to be asking for a cup of water straight from, I guess, the faucet or something.
Okay. Let me see.
Hold on. All right.
It is. There you go. Generally, I have not been doing stunts here, but, and this used a filter. The water around this table.
It didn't look like he drank the water.
He didn't.
What we know scientifically, which is.
See, I think Shannon's watching the actual news clip, but there's one I'm gonna put to.
Yeah, I don't know because that's the only one that came up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna put a clip to the fake one in the show notes. It has a close-up view, and it shows that Obama. He takes the glass, he goes to his mouth, but he doesn't drink it.
I mean, it doesn't look like he drinks it in the video either.
Yeah, so he fake drunk the water. And that kind of is the problem that we're having here. So taking the vaccine on live TV has a couple of holes in it. Number one, how do we know that you're getting injected with the vaccine? For all we know, you could be getting injected with a placebo or, I don't know, sugar water or whatever it is to fake like you're getting the actual vaccine. Problem number one. So it's not going to build my confidence, right? Yeah. I appreciate the sentiment, but this is a horrible idea.
Yes.
You would be much better off, Shannon, trying to convince people to take the vaccine like I'm going to do right now, right? Stop with the hoaxes. Stop with trying to use those stunts to get people to take the vaccine. If you want people to take the vaccine, you have to meet them where they are. And that starts with acknowledging that you don't have to be an anti-vaxxer to be skeptical about taking this specific vaccine because it is the fastest vaccine we've produced in the history, I think, in like mankind. You have to start there. You have to acknowledge that, guys, I understand that you guys are apprehensive because usually it takes, 5 to 7 years for a vaccine to get created. And we made this one in like 5 to 7 months, pretty much. Yeah. Like March, April, May, June, July. Oh, yeah. Like in 5 to 7 months, we produced a vaccine in America. That is probably a little too fast for some of you, right? So don't try to go to this big gimmick. I'm gonna get this fake vaccination on TV. No, meet people where they are. Acknowledge that. That's skepticism. We've never had a coronavirus vaccine before. Number one. Number two, we never had a vaccine this quickly. Number three, I don't remember, and I could be wrong, I don't remember a vaccine that you had to take in multiple doses. Do you?
The HPV vaccine you have to.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. HPV, but none that you take as an adult.
No.
Yeah, like the flu vaccine is one shot. I think senior citizens get like a shot for pneumonia.
But I think isn't that only one company's vaccine? Isn't that only Moderna's? I think that one. I think the other two is just one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay,
fair enough. But isn't the 2-shot one the one being rolled out in December? Or is it both of them?
I think it's both of them. I'm not entirely sure though.
Okay.
Well, they both submitted for FDA approval. I don't think that they got approval yet. They said if they do get approval, then it'll be rolled out by the 15th December.
Okay. So look, we know for a fact that for one of these vaccines, you're going to be getting 2 shots of the vaccine. These are things that have never happened before. And so someone could be a logical person who is not an anti-vaxxer and still be apprehensive about taking a vaccine based on the information that me and Shannon just laid out for you all, right now. Now, here's how I will go about convincing people. This COVID-19 appears to be heading towards a seasonal disease, which means that it's going to come around every year around flu season. And so we're going to be living with this pretty much until we die. Now, viruses usually, Shannon, they usually mutate towards being less lethal as it goes around the population. Many epidemiologists speculate that is what happened with the 1918 flu. People are like, what happened when did they get through the other side? They went through the population for 2-3 years, and then eventually it became a less lethal version of itself that became a part of seasonal flus. And so many people speculate that is probably what is going to happen with COVID-19. It'll become a seasonal flu. And so we will add the COVID-19 shot along with the flu shot that we take on a yearly basis. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it's a yearly vaccine. I don't think anyone said that.
I don't know that either as well. I think the vaccine lasts, I think, 3 months.
Oh, that's it?
I mean, isn't that how long the flu vaccine lasts?
3 months? No. Because then why do you have to get it? Oh, because it only lasts through flu season and then it wears off and you don't need it again until next flu season?
I'm pretty sure that the 3 months is pretty good. Based on the articles I was seeing, they were saying that that's a pretty good efficacy record. Yeah, Shannon's doing some typing. A lot of typing today. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that for example, I know for a fact it's not one shot for life.
No.
Okay. So let's see what Shannon pulls up.
Okay. You can keep talking because I feel like I have to read through all this information to actually get an answer.
Yeah, so basically, we're probably going to be living with this virus for the rest of our lives. And so getting vaccinated on a yearly basis seems to be where we are headed. And so if you don't get vaccinated this time and you simply wait for the vaccine, I don't know, next time, you won't really see any, assuming that there are some downsides to the vaccine, right? That we won't find out until maybe 5 to 8 years after people take the vaccination. that means you would have to hide in your house for the next 5 to 8 years.
It
and
doesn't really
deserve.
say. Oops, sorry, Jabia.
Go ahead.
It doesn't really say like how long it lasts in your body. It just says that your immune protection declines over time, so you have to get one annually. But it doesn't say like when it actually does. So
Okay, fair enough.
somewhere
Yes.
in between that year.
Okay, cool. So, see, thank you, Shannon. So, like I said, it's going to be a yearly thing, and my point is, if the virus is going to be around until we die on a seasonal basis, if you're someone like Shannon, and like me a little bit, who is apprehensive about how fast the vaccine was made, you won't really see any long-term effects until probably 5 to maybe 8 or 9 years after someone gets vaccinated. So you would have to pretty much either stay in the house or risk catching the virus within the next 5 or 8 years before you see the long-term effects of the vaccine. Now, for some people, it might be worth the risk. If you are someone who thinks you are relatively healthy, you are young, you have an increased statistical odds that you will beat coronavirus if you contract it. If you're someone who is old, someone who has comorbidities, diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, cancer, then you are someone that probably don't want to take your chance with contracting COVID-19. And so here's my breakdown, Shannon. If you are someone who is above the age of 70, you should get the vaccine. Here's why. If there is like long-term consequences that show up 10 years later, you'll be 80. You didn't have that many good years left anyway. Right? No. I'm just saying it, Shannon. Somebody had to say it. You didn't have that many good years left anyway, and you have done your duty as an American in alerting the rest of us that we should redo this vaccine. Right? So, 70 and up, do you really want to take a chance of catching the coronavirus? Are you going to stay in the house for 5 to 7 years? No, I don't think so. I think most of y'all want your time back.
I think that old people are or older people are not too worried about it. My dad said that he would get it without a problem because he said that he doesn't want to get the coronavirus. He'd rather take his chances. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
How old is your father?
I think he's in his mid-60s.
So is mine. Same here. Yeah. See, me and Shannon both have old parents. So my father's the same way, and he works in the healthcare field. So for him, he's at an increased likelihood to contract it, but because of where he works as well, he is also, I think, part of the group that is eligible to get it first. I think Cuomo announced that in New York State, it'll be going to frontline healthcare workers first, and
long-term care facilities, staff, and resident.
Yeah. So he should be one of the first people eligible to get it. He's also going back and forth about getting it too, but I told him the same thing. He's like, well, there is a potential of a negative outcome, if you get the vaccine and if you get the virus. But only one of these things has a potential positive outcome. That's the vaccine. Mm-hmm. There is no positive outcome getting the virus. And so you might as well check it, take your chances getting the vaccine. You'll notice 10, 15 years later that there's some long-term problems. You'll be 77. I love my father. I'm just saying, would you risk it though, Shannon?
No. Not if I was older. No.
Same here.
I want my family to be protected because they're the ones I'm worried about the most. So, they want to get let them get it so that they'll be fine.
Yeah, if I was 60, I would take this wouldn't even be a debate. I wouldn't need no demonstration. Pass that vaccine here, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So who do you think the healthcare workers and the nursing home residents and staff are going to be first? How do you think the line is going to go in like terms of like who?
Okay, so are you asking how do I think it's going to go or how I would do it?
Yeah, how do you think it's going to go? Yeah.
All right. I always knew it was going to be healthcare workers and
of course.
Nursing homes first because those are the two places that got hit the hardest. Then I think they're going to go down by age. So, for example, they're doing location first.
I think that teachers should be included in the location place though. Like I think teachers should be next, and then you go down by age.
The problem with the teachers is that the schools have such a low infection rate.
That's true. They do.
Right. So if the schools have a low infection rate, then you might as well just start going to the people who are the most likely to suffer complications if they contract this. And that's kind of going down by age. So I would go from hospital workers, nursing homes, and I would go to general public, 80 and up. Then I go, down to 70. Probably go down. I'll probably go by age down until I got to around 50. Then I would transfer into gender as well. So old men first, then old women. Then after that, I would probably go comorbidities.
What?
So comorbidities. So
okay.
If you have diabetes, you are next on the list. If you have cancer, asthma, right?
Any underlying conditions. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Then after that, if you fat. No, seriously. If you're fat, you come up next, right? I can't put you above the people that got diabetes and asthma and stuff because you got fat, and so you got to kind of hold this a little bit. But you do have to come first, then fat people, and then people like you and me.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get this thing until like June.
Which is fine. I'm not in a rush.
Do you work now? That's how they're going to do it. How I think they should do it. I would do it. Did you see the Contagion?
No, because I don't watch movies like that because I don't.
You told me that. Yeah,
they scare me.
So in the movie Contagion, they do it totally not random, but in such a cool way where they did it by birthdays.
Interesting.
So if you was born, for example, October 8th, come and get your vaccine.
That's weird.
It's not really weird. It's kind of totally random. So, for example, you can make an argument that because it's random, it's fairer.
I mean, I guess so. But I feel like the way they're doing it, I feel like doing it that way, not that way, but I feel like the list of the way you said it is fair too, because
no, it ain't. Because they're
you
not
need to worry about people.
They're not. People are going to agree up until we get to what they're going to do, which is they're going to start talking about should black and brown people get it first. And once that happens, it's going to be, it's not going to feel fair. Because rightfully so, if I'm white, I'm like, the fuck? What you mean? I gotta wait. And then the black people are going to think this is some big conspiracy theory where they're trying to test it out on them first. And so it's going to fumble into that versus, like I said, if you do like the movie and you do it on birthdays, Shannon, it's totally random.
I guess so.
Totally random. And you could do it where you have a little checkpoint. So October 8th, come to these places throughout the country, have the military go and vaccinate the people in these car lines, do that through the entire day, bam. Or you could be more broad and just do it by months. If you was born in the month of January, you can go and get a vaccination at any healthcare facility in the country, but only during your month. So if you don't get it during January, then you can't get it again until the next year.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I feel like there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. They're not going to, but I feel like there's
no. They're going to do it. They're going to do it the first way. So like I said, if you're 70, you should take it. No point in risking your life to get the virus and hoping that you beat it. If you got someone with a comorbidity, but you're younger, you got a decision to make. Like I said, the odds that this thing is bad as a vaccine is like 0.000, 1 or something like that. But it is still a point. And vaccines operate differently depending on who you are, depending on the structure of your immune system, depending on DNA, like all sorts of things. But like I said, this thing is not going to put like this. I'll be shocked if somebody dies from getting the vaccine. like anytime within 4 or 5 years. It's my cat. You're not going to see that. Any complication is going to come from long term. And so I just don't think it's worth risking getting this thing because of how random it is and then hoping that you beat it. Young and healthy, sure, take a chance. If you're that skeptical, take a chance, right? My doctor told me, Shannon, that because, you guys know I don't get my flu vaccine. My doctor told me that I was probably benefiting from herd immunity. So because enough people in the city were getting the flu vaccine, I was not getting the flu. And so something
You're
like that
definitely
might
benefiting from herd immunity.
Yeah. So that might happen with the coronavirus as well. Because even if only half the country takes it, if this thing keeps spreading the way it is, you're going to have like maybe by the time half the country gets vaccinated, you'll have maybe 10 to 15% of the country that has antibodies because they had the virus already.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might get to a level of herd immunity with a mixture of vaccinations and people who get the virus.
Mm-hmm.
So that works as well. But yeah, this little stunt, you doing Obama and Clinton and Bush? Nah, nobody's buying it. Yeah. Just save your time, save your money, and just get your vaccine in private like everybody else, because no one is going to buy that you guys are actually taking the vaccine on Good Morning America.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Not going to happen, Barry. Not going to happen. Okay, now, next in the news, I want to discuss Obama's comments about defund the police. I think this is the story you were.
Yeah, this is what I heard about. Which I honestly haven't read too much into it just because I've had a very long and exhausting week. I've just heard about it in passing, so just continue.
Look, Obama's out here doing what Obama does. I don't understand why people are shocked by Obama's politics. I understand being duped by him when he ran for president. The first time. I don't understand being duped by him in 2012, and I don't understand being shocked whenever he says something that is so obviously Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Obama is not this leftist liberal that he's not. He pretended to be in 2007, running for president to be, the first black president in 2008. He ran as somebody who was like a left-leaning guy back then, that whistleblowers will be safe in his administration, making America more equal, being a president for all. He ran on those things, but he didn't do nearly half of those things because that is not who he is at his core. It's not who Obama is. And so he's been going around giving interviews and stuff because I think he's doing like a book tour. He wrote another autobiography, which, talk about narcissism. But it's like his third or fourth autobiography, which is strange. And he's been going around giving interviews. And recently he spoke about defund the police. And I'm going to just read this article from The Hill. It goes, former President Obama said political candidates lose support when using, quote, snappy slogans like, quote, defund the police. In an interview scheduled to be released Wednesday, that was yesterday, Obama told Peter Hamby, who hosts a Snapchat political show, didn't even know this, Good Luck America, that those who use the slogan could jeopardize their goals of enacting meaningful reforms for police. You lose a big audience the minute you say it, which makes a lot less likely that you're actually going to get the changes you want done, the former president said in the interview scheduled to go live at 6 a.m. on Wednesday, according to Axios. The key is deciding, do you want to actually get something done, or do you want to feel good among the people you already agree with? Obama added. Initial thoughts, Shannon. Go.
My thoughts are, I'm not really surprised because, like you said, Obama is not the promised savior of Black people. So he's just like any of these old white politicians. He just happens to be brown. He's not, like you said, he's not a left-leaning liberal. He's not a radical leftist. He's not any of those things. He is a regular politician. And the sooner people realize that about him, then the less people will be shocked when he says these things.
Do you, but okay, so me and you agree on Obama, the profile you just laid out. But what do you think about his comments on defunding the police being a bad slogan?
I don't think it's a slogan, and I think it was kind of weird that he referred to it as a slogan. It's a policy that people are trying to pass. So I mean, I didn't agree with his comments at all. But again, I'm just not surprised that he said them. But I don't agree with what he said.
So I've been looking at the blowback that his comments have gotten from people saying similar things like you, that it's not a slogan. And his point from what I read is he's saying that the way you phrase certain things matters.
Well, yes, I agree that the way you phrase certain things do matter, because a lot of people don't really understand what defund the police means. I had to explain this to my mother because she didn't understand it when people were saying it. So yes, the phrase defund the police is very jarring. And if you don't really take your time to do your research into what it means, then you could just think that it means what they're saying without looking into it. So I had to explain to my mom. So I'm pretty sure a lot of other older people don't really know what it means either. So I guess you do have to watch your phrasing. So I guess, like, if he meant it that way, I can kind of understand what he meant. I guess.
So I want to be very clear. Defund the police is an awful slogan. Awful slogan. Just from a PR, perspective, which in this instance, I think Obama was speaking about. Mm-hmm. So when I read his comments, I didn't hear him saying that he disagreed with what the quote unquote defund the police activists were calling for. He seemed to be critiquing the messaging more than anything else, and saying that, when you message things, you have to craft them in a way that appeals to the largest base possible. And just to give a quick parallel, Andrew Yang, who ran on UBI, he would give various interviews where he said that he stopped calling it UBI and started calling it the freedom dividend because it polled better.
Okay.
Same policy, but when he said, we want to give you a freedom dividend, it polled better with people, Democrat and Republican, more so than universal basic income. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, universal basic income is the most least offensive thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't understand how that could throw you off, but the fact that him changing the name to freedom dividend changed how people perceived it, that was a smart thing for him to do. Because, like Obama said, you are trying to appeal to the largest possible audience that you can. Because the people that are on your side, they're already on your side. And so if there is a disconnect because of your phrasing, it would behoove you to change your phrasing. That's what I think Obama was saying. I agree with him 100%. Now, there was a second discussion, Shannon, being had about that. So the second discussion that I saw was people pushing back on Obama's claim that the phrasing is what bothers people about defund the police. And what these leftists were saying was that, no, the people are just using that as an excuse because they just disagree with the meaning behind the phrase. They don't want to transfer resources from the police department to various social programs, right? They don't want to do those things. And so they're saying it's the slogan when really they don't agree with the action. Okay. I think that has some merit as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of people like myself are uncomfortable with what it means as well. I don't support the defund slogan. I don't support what the meaning behind it means either. Yeah, I kind of think
interesting. Learning some new things about Jabia today.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous. I think we need police. I do. In fact, Shannon, I have another interesting article here. This is a poll, actually. Apparently, most black people, Shannon, are on my side on this issue. There's a Gallup poll conducted.
How old are these people?
August 5th, 2020. Black Americans want police to retain local presence.
Wait, read it again.
Black Americans want police to retain local presence.
Interesting.
And so some of the story highlights. Black Americans are a bit more likely than most other groups to see police locally. I think me and you both know that is true. Unfortunately, if you live in a poor black neighborhood, you have more rates of crime, which means you are going to see more police locally. Do we agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still, most, and by most, 81% want police to spend the same amount of or more times in their area.
That's so weird. I find that very weird that is a true fact.
But why do you find that weird?
I don't know.
And so let me just redo some of the graphing here. And so they ask people, would you rather the police spend more time, the same amount of time, or less time as they currently spend in your area? And so they asked this to Black Americans, white Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans. And I'm going to go from Asian up. So 9% of Asian Americans said they want police to spend more time.
That makes sense. Okay, continue.
63% of Asian Americans said they want police to spend the same amount of time.
Okay.
And 28% of Asian Americans said they want police to spend less time in their communities.
Okay.
That was the highest percentage of people who want police to spend less time in their communities. So Asians are actually the demographic that want less police the most than any other group in this country.
Okay, so what was the results for African Americans?
So Black Americans, 20% of Black Americans wanted police to spend more time in their communities. 61% of Black Americans wanted the same amount of time. And 19% wanted less time. And so, yeah, overwhelmingly, African Americans want the same amount of time. Second is more time. And then third,
I wish I would have broken that down by age. Because I feel like older Black Americans want the police to spend more time in their neighborhood because of the crime rates. I feel like younger Black Americans probably want police to spend less time in their neighborhoods. I feel like it would be an interesting breakdown by age, but interesting.
It would be, but I also think we have to be honest about Black neighborhoods, right? Like, remember, regardless of how you feel about police, you can still want more police in your communities just because the alternative is more dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
And many people of the of African descent will tell you that when they walk into, for example, a project building, they feel safer when there's a police officer in the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the truth of the matter, right? Mm-hmm. There's plenty of reasons why you can get mad at it, but when you talk to by the way, I'm backing your theory that older Black Americans like more police, but I think they're right about this, and I think we're the ones that are wrong. Because when you talk to old Black women, for example, my grandmother, she's dead now, but when she used to live in the projects and wouldn't even go to the store once the sun went down because she didn't feel safe.
Yeah,
and she wasn't scared of police. She was scared of young Black men. Many old Black women, like my grandmother, feel the exact same way. They are afraid to go out at night to the grocery store because of Black young men. They're not afraid of police. They're afraid of people that look like me. And so I'm not shocked by this at all.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this.
Yeah, I'm not shocked by this at all. When you live in rough neighborhoods, yes, you want the authorities to be around. And so this is what I mean. So having this data here, I can absolutely see how positions like defund the police can cost certain Democrats in certain districts House seats, Senate seats, maybe in the future, even the presidential elections, because there's an assumption that because of these police shooting videos, there's the assumption that Black people will want less police. But when they're polled privately, which is another big thing, privately, that's not what they seem to want. They want the same amount of police presence first, second, more time, and then third, less time.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you want to know who wanted police the most? Who wanted more police the most? It was Hispanic Americans at 24%.
Want more police in their neighborhood. That's what you said?
Yes. So 24% of Hispanic Americans wanted more police in their neighborhoods. Or they wanted police to spend more time in their neighborhoods. which
Got
was
it.
the highest of any demographic. They also
Okay.
were the highest regarding wanting police to spend the same amount of time in a neighborhood. That's 71%.
What was the white poll for white Americans?
17% want more time spent, 71% want same amount of time, and 12% want less time.
Got it. Okay.
And so when you have this data, what Obama is saying makes absolute sense. Why would you phrase something like defund the police if you have the data that shows this is kind of this isn't even popular with the group of people that you are trying to protect?
That does make sense. It does. I can't even argue with you, as I like to do, because it does make sense.
It doesn't make any sense for me. And look, like I said, Obama is not this liberal guy that people think he is. Because he ran one way, that is kind of how he's burned into the minds of people. And because he's a minority, that's another thing that's happening, where minority candidates who, if they were white, would absolutely be dismissed or hated because they're black or they're women. They can push the same neoliberal policies and not get any of the pushback. Obama is not anti-police. He's not anti-cop. Obama doesn't even really believe in the racial stuff. He says it more now, but that's only because it makes him more popular. If you listen to his speeches back in 2007, 2008, he was running as, I'm not a black person. I'm biracial.
Mm-hmm.
That was where Obama was coming from back then, because it was politically convenient for him to view things that way. Now it's politically convenient for him to view things as, I'm a black man. I'm oppressed, and so he speaks that way. But when he does his interviews like this, Shannon, and he gets to talk for an hour, and he gets to be himself. He is himself.
Yeah.
This is who Obama is, and people need to just become comfortable with this is who he is. Do you want to? There's another graph here that I think you'll find interesting, Shannon, regarding black people in the police. Okay. If you had an interaction with police in your area, how confident are you that they would treat you with courtesy and respect?
How confident am I? I would say half.
So 18% of black Americans said that they would feel very confident.
Okay.
43% of black Americans said they would feel somewhat confident. So already the majority of African Americans are confident that they will be treated with courtesy and respect by police. 27% are not too confident, and 12% are not at all confident. Now, once again, this is a very interesting data point, because it is not matching the online narrative.
Mm-hmm.
We know that black people, we're afraid of the cops, and the cops are hunting us down. According to this data here, most black people are confident that the police would treat them with courtesy and respect. Now, this poll is not saying whether or not the police will treat them with courtesy and respect. It is simply saying,
it's just what black people think, which is not. I understand everything. This is very interesting.
Exactly.
It is.
And for white Americans, it's insane. 56% of white Americans are very confident that the police will treat them with courtesy and respect. 35% somewhat confident. 7% not too confident. 2% not at all confident. Yeah, Asian Americans also are. Everybody is confident that the police are going to treat them with courtesy and respect. Shannon.
That is. I mean, I can't really say that it surprises me that much. It's very fascinating when you pull up data and facts and compare it to what you see in the media.
Well, no, you know what it is, Shannon? To your point, I do wish they had a age breakdown, because this could be kind of generational things.
I definitely think a large part of it is generational. I do think that.
And to be fair, you would have to kind of know what these samples was as well. Like, do older people skew on online surveys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who is more likely to take an online survey, a young person or an old person. Was this survey even done online? If it was done in person, did that skew older?
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
you see, so these are the data points that I don't know. But I do know that this poll matches my anecdotal evidence, meaning conversations that I have with Black people in real life, that they want police. They are not with this defund the police movement at all. So then it gets into a theory of mine on where, okay, how can the Black Lives Matter movement be for the liberation of Black people, yet it is advocating for something that the majority of Black people are against?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, how can you be a Black movement if you're advocating for something that, according to multiple polls, it ain't just the Gallup. I did my research. This was one poll, but this was done in the Gallup. There was another poll done as well. See if I can find the other poll. Yeah, but there's been a couple of polls that have kind of gotten to the same conclusion, where most Black people want the same amount or more police, even if they do have a certain level of distrust of the police. And so, yeah,
wow.
I think. But seriously though, why are you shocked though?
I'm not shocked. I just think it's interesting. I just think it's very interesting. But I wouldn't say that I'm shocked.
Okay, so
again, I think it's older people. I really do. But
okay, so you think that they're wrong for feeling that way?
No, I don't think they're wrong for feeling that way. I'm just saying I just think it's older. I just think it's definitely older people more so than younger people that feel that way. That's
okay, but why?
Why what?
Why would older people have more confidence in the police department than younger people? If police officers were worse back in the day, why are the oldest Black Americans more confident in being treated fairly by police officers than younger Black Americans?
I actually don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't have it. It's a very good point though. I don't know. I guess because like I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Look, I respect you for just saying that you don't know, because sometimes you're running into some data points that will really throw you for a loop, and you kind of have to just sit with it. Maybe do some research over the next couple of days, and then come with a new theory. But see, I wasn't shocked at all, because I personally don't have any ill feelings toward police officers. No, it's not to say that I don't have any critiques of how we are policed, but I never bought into the online narrative that Black people are afraid of police. Yeah. I think Black people are afraid of young Black men. And by the way, I think we're getting into an interesting space where it could be also, Shannon, one other thing, that the reason why the perception that Black people are anti-police exists on social media is because people have to be performative. You get called a coon, a sellout.
Yeah.
If you come out as being somebody who is against defunding the police. And so what you might have is a case where people in public are saying, they support the defund the police movement and all of that stuff. But then when they are polled anonymously, they support the police. That could also be something that is happening as well. But it's all interesting stuff. And I only brought it up because I think it kind of, like I said, I think that information helps put President Obama's comments in a better context. Instead of just dismissing him as this guy who is a neoliberal or anti-liberal, which he is, by the way, that's who he is. But you got to be fair to everybody and their comments. His statements, I don't think, came from his own political bias. I think he was just kind of giving a politician's perspective on framing, because Republicans are good at that shit, Shannon. Patriot Act.
Wait, what?
Patriot Act.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
It is the least patriotic thing ever. It is the government spying on you, going past needing court orders and whatnot. But the Republicans gave it the name Patriot Act because it evokes certain emotions. It makes you feel proud. Republicans are way better at naming these things than Democrats are. Think about it. Patriot Act, pro-life. Who wants to be the opposite of pro-life?
What?
No, I'm saying pro-life. Who wants to be the opposite of pro-life?
What do you mean? Who wants to be the opposite? Are you asking me that, or are you saying that like as a statement?
No,
like,
I'm saying. I'm saying the reason why they frame.
Oh, got it.
Anti-abortion with the label pro-life because who wants to be pro-life? Okay. Nobody wants to be against pro-life. Nobody does. And so that is very, very good framing. You know, we're not going to be anti-abortion. We're going to be pro-life. We're going to be the party of law and order. Who wants to be anti-law and order? You see what I'm saying? Like you kind of get what I'm saying, where the Republicans do a better job with the phrasing than the Democrats. And here's the thing: people don't dig deep into the reason is why. So Shannon had to explain to people what defund the police means to some people. But guess what? As a voter, I don't got time for all that. When I hear defund the police, I hear defund the police. If you heard defund Medicare, what goes through your mind?
Defunding Medicare.
You see what I'm saying? Like you don't think about nuance. You don't think about anything else. You think about wait, what? Defund Medicare? Like language means everything in politics, and Central Obama.
It does, especially Obama, in this era where the American people are increasingly becoming more stupid, and people are too lazy to research things. So
no, you're right, 100%.
Yeah.
And so, with that in mind, I think certain people might have missed what Obama was saying from the left, and not paying attention to his point being made. You can disagree with somebody on policy, and they still make a good point. And I think Obama does make a good point about, hey, let's be better with our phrasing, right? Maybe instead of defund the police, call it police reformation.
Yeah, police reform.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah, defund sounds like Shannon said. Like you hear defund, you think defund. You don't think about anything else. Yeah. Oh, they come in to take money away from the cops, and I gotta buy me a pistol. That's what you hear. So, like I said, Obama is who he is, but I thought he made a good point. I think liberals kind of have to accept, acknowledge who the man is. But one day, as we have 3 minutes left. One day we are going to have a conversation about like the Obama illusion and how he was able to dupe all of you, for twice for 8 years, 4 years. I understand y'all let that man dupe y'all twice, and it will always be incredible to me because I saw who he was from the beginning. From the beginning, Shannon couldn't even vote. But I saw who he was back in 2008.
In 2008, I definitely was not paying attention to politics at all. So
I get it. Now, did I vote for him in 2012? Yeah, I did. I didn't like who's it? Mitt Romney that ran in 2012.
It was Mitt Romney.
Yes, I don't like Mitt, so I did vote for Obama in 2012. But I didn't go into it voting for him thinking he was this liberal. I kind of knew who he was. Oh yeah, he's Obama's really a centrist if you think about it.
Even back then, I didn't care about politics. I just voted for Obama again because I just voted for Obama again. I can't really say that I cared too much about politics back then. Huh?
You voted for him because he's black. It's okay to say it.
I voted for him because I voted for him because I voted.
Huh?
I probably voted for him because that's what everyone else in my college was doing. So I really didn't care about politics back then, really that much at all. I didn't start getting into politics until recently. So
yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, look. If most African Americans can be honest with themselves, you got caught up in the symbolism of Obama, and that's what drove you to vote for him. Until this day, that's what keep y'all defending him, even as he continues to just shit all over y'all. I don't understand it. Don't understand it, but I guess it is what it is. And with that, we are at the end of today's podcast. This was a really good one, I thought. Really good one. A lot of information.
A lot of information. I apologize because I am so tired. I feel like I did not contribute so much at all. It's okay though. I'll be back.
It's fine. Yeah. We all have them days. And like I said, this was kind of more of an information heavy one with the the Gallup poll and
it's a slow news week too. There wasn't a ton going on in the news besides the vaccine.
People don't understand. No, but Shannon, this is the thing. People don't understand that nothing new is happening, and so they just sit and watch the news night after night. You're just regurgitating the same thing you saw yesterday. Nothing changed about the news, but you just sit in front of your TV and they give you the same thing, different spin. They'll change the host. They bring on different guests, but they're talking about the exact same. They've been talking about Joe Biden's cabinet for 4 or 5 days now. Even though we're not learning anything new about the cabinet, nothing new. He has an all-female cabinet. Congratulations. Simone Sanders is part of his communications teams. Congratulations. But we aren't learning anything. Trump is still being crazy out there doing his thing, and so the media doesn't want to talk about that as well. So they have nothing to really talk about, but they have to fill space because they have a weekly show. We have they have a nightly show. We have a weekly podcast.
Nightly.
Yeah, we don't have any obligation to be out there regurgitating shit. That's why we kind of just skipped over the Corona stuff because nothing changed. So, let's try to, like I said, this was a good one for me. So Shannon, any last words?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you all for listening and watching another episode of the Black Column Podcast. All of our information will be in the show notes. Who turn is it this Monday? Your turn, right?
Yes, it is. It is my turn to come up with an idea.
Shannon is going to be picking this the upcoming Monday discussion. I look forward to seeing what she comes up with, though I have a feeling I won't find out until Sunday morning.
One of our listeners gave me an idea, which I don't know if we're going to talk about this, but he who recently started listening to us and was interested in talking about, like, I have to go up and pull up what he said. It's something about, like, you moving down south and, like, how you think it'll be different down there in terms of, like, the racism and the politics and, like, the change of pace of living down south.
First of all, you guys have such a negative view of the South. I love the South. I want to let everyone know I love the South. I do. I love the South. You know what's crazy? They feel the same way about y'all up here. Like, they call y'all Yankees.
Is that true?
Yes. I've heard my uncle say it multiple times. So trust me. The way I feel about the South, they feel the exact same way about you Northerners. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say about that. All right, so I look forward to seeing whatever Shannon picks. I'm sure it'll be fun. And we will see you guys on Monday. Until next time, deuces.
See you later.